What did I miss? Brian here, and well, I got several parts sitting on the table in front of me. Today we're going to be building a whole new barrel and hop-up assembly. So I've had my Polar Star jack for 3 years and counting. I had it set for CQB, close quarters, short distances, SBR type stuff. And I come to realize I want to get a little more range out of it. Here's my current hop-up and barrel setup. The only things I changed out over the years were the hop-up bucking and the inner barrel. The hop-up bucking right now is a maple leaf blue hop-up bucking, and the barrel is an Aries Amoeba AM013 barrel. I left the hop-up unit stock, which looks basic and bland, but hey, it still works just fine. And you could tell just by looking at it, it doesn't cut out for long distances. So instead of taking it apart, I'm going to leave it as is and build a whole new hop-up and barrel setup specifically for long range, because this works really well for CQB, short distances, indoors. So the parts I have in front of me are the Retro Arms hop-up unit. This one is in blue, but it also comes in black. A Friction Pro orange hop-up bucking, and a Prometheus inner barrel. The diameter is 6.03 millimeters and the length is 429 millimeters. And building a whole new hop-up and barrel system is really easy. You only need one tool in this case, and that is an Allen key. And now to make things a little bit easier, you could have some lube or grease, but I don't have any, so we're going in no lube. And so without further ado, let's get to it. With everything out of its packaging, we want to take a look at all the parts to see where everything goes. For the hop-up, we've got the body itself, the threaded barrel lock, a C-clamp, a screw, the adjustment wheel, the nub that applies pressure to the bucking, 2 arms, and 3 O-rings of various different sizes and thicknesses. For the Prometheus barrel, we have the inner barrel itself and 2 O-rings. And for the Friction Pro bucking, just the bucking itself, nothing else. And you see this square-ish end of the barrel, and if I turn it the other way, you'll see there is one slot that goes on the other side. This is considered the bottom of the barrel, or the barrel facing downward. If you look at the hop-up bucking, you'll see there is a little bit of extra rubber on one part, and that is where it fits onto the slots of the barrel. Slip it in like so. Hop-up bucking is in the barrel. Next, we're going to slip it into the Retro Arms hop-up unit, and we want to make sure that the slot is aimed towards the bottom of the hop-up unit. You want to get the C-clamp, and it only works one way, so you can't really mix it up. Press it in, and you should hear a click. And then you want to turn it a little bit just to make sure it's snug, and then give it a few tugs just to make sure it doesn't slip out. And that's not going anywhere. Then we want to take our threaded barrel lock and slip it all the way on, like so, and then screw it in to lock it in place. Keeping it like so, I'm going to add the small O-ring onto this nozzle or tubing. This is where the BBs feed into. There we go. And towards the back, I'm going to add the thicker O-ring, and that goes right there. Okay, the O-ring is in. And flipping it the other way, we're gonna have to add in the nub and the arm before we could add in the adjustment wheel. Next is installing the arms. Now, the kit comes with 2 arms. We got one with the flat end and the other with the end that's like a claw. The one with the flat end will work with the provided trolley or plastic nub, like that. And then the one with the end that has a claw will work with the rubber nubs that come with the buckings. And in my case, the Friction Pro does come with an orange nub. And here you want to decide how to go on about it. And in my case, since I have the rubber nub, I'm going to use the rubber nub and the arm that has a claw. For these two, I'm going to hold them as spare parts. Now the way this is done is you want to match how the claw presses onto the rubber bucking. like so, and then insert it into the hop-up unit from there. Insert it like that. You want it to grip the nub and then line up the holes with the hop-up unit. And once you get it lined up, you want to add the screw, and it goes in only one way, which is from the right to the left. And as you can see, there is an opening on the right side of the hop-up unit. You want to tighten it. And we take our adjustment wheel and install it. We have to put a decent amount of force into it. That way it goes in. And the last O-ring is in. And just like that, we are done. That is how you build a new barrel and hop-up system with the Retro Arms hop-up unit. And if we compare the lengths, you can see that the barrel is a few inches or millimeters longer than the Aries one. This is something I would recommend doing if you want to do an HPA or an AEG build with more range, but you don't want to spend money on a whole other gun. And with this method, I could just take apart the upper and lower receivers and change out the inner barrel and hop-up systems, and I'm good to go. I got my upper receiver here. This is what it looks like with the short barrel setup. There we go. You can barely see the inner barrel through the flash hider. Now, with the longer barrel setup, it's going to stick out a lot. Yeah, that's what it looks like. It's sticking out, and I would need either a longer barrel or a suppressor to cover this extra barrel, but it's not too bad. But other than that, it's pretty easy to do. It's straightforward, and you don't need a whole lot of tools to build a new barrel and hop-up system. If you're subscribed, thanks. If you're not, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Take care, everyone. I'll catch you on the flip side.